Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today Bungie came out with the TWAB, and it has an absolutely massive update to several solar subclasses. There's going to be an entire, kind of like there was with Arc Week, an entire solar revamping of several of these classes, especially for PvP activities. They're going over Golden Gun, they're going over Hammer, and they're going over Dawnblade, and there's going to be huge updates, and they're going to be amazing. I'm extremely excited, and anyone out there who plays PvP, if you haven't played any solar subclasses in a while, they have been in need of some serious buffs for a while. I mean, I'm playing comp pretty much every day now, and I rarely ever use Golden Gun. I'm almost exclusively using either Spectral Blades or Arc Strider with Arc Battery, and I don't really use anything else because on the Golden Gun side at least, because it's just so much weaker than the rest of the other classes. So going over all of the buffs that they are going to do, essentially here it is in the TWAB. They wanted to address that Golden Gun is primarily used for PvE activities, and they wanted to buff it so that it wasn't entirely a PvE specific kind of super. You do see Golden Guns every now and again in Crucible, but rarely, and the reason why primarily was because the Golden Gun timer was so short, and also Golden Gun has an absolutely terrible mid game. And what I mean by mid game, if you don't know, is that mid game is the abilities and the strength of the abilities you have in between getting your super. And Golden Gun has some of the absolute worst mid game abilities, comparative especially to all of the Void classes, which have amazing smoke that poisons people, make you go invis, make your teammates go invis, that messes with people's radar. There's so many other strong mid game abilities on the other Hunter classes that Golden Gun has terrible mid game, and so they're actually really focusing and buffing the mid game for Golden Gun, which is why I'm so especially excited, because although it would be cool if they just added, let's just say they added 5 seconds on the Golden Gun timer, that would definitely make it a lot more viable, but that's such a very simple and narrow-minded focus. I'm really happy that they focus mostly on the mid game for Golden Gun especially. So the first thing they did is they sort of balanced out the 3-shot Golden Gun to the 6-shot Golden Gun. The 6-shot Golden Gun, they're going to lower the range, and then for the 3-shot Golden Gun, it says they're increasing the auto aim distance, so they're making it, I imagine making the hitbox larger and making the aim assist better for the 3-shot, sort of to balance those things out, because right now, having 6 shots is so much superior to having 3 that, now if you shoot across the map with a Golden Gun with a 6-shooter, it might not one-hit kill them if they're in their super. We'll see how powerful it is. I'll definitely be testing it out. Make sure to look forward to a future video of testing out the new Golden Gun after the updates and changes. But they're sort of balancing them out so that way the 6-shooter is more for close range and the 3-shot is more for long range. The next part that they cover is what I'm most excited for, which is the weighted knife. It's a high damage throwing knife that one hit kills to the head. Now this is something that I've been wanting for an extremely long time. If y'all don't know, I'm not taking complete responsibility for this, but I did tweet out, it says right here, on October 28th, you can see the timestamp. I said, Titans have shoulder charge, Warlocks have handheld supernova, but where is the Hunter one-hit kill ability? I think throwing knife headshots should be one-hit kill. Hashtag Destiny 2. It got 1.7k likes, so they definitely saw that, and obviously they have this idea in their mind beforehand. I'm not trying to take all the credit, say it was all because of me, but, it was all because of me. We all know. And so this is really exciting and really cool. I'm happy that this happened. The Golden Gun tree definitely needed a one-hit kill ability. Hunter needs a one-hit kill ability, especially because Titan and Warlock have it as well. So it kind of balances out the 3 different worlds of that. And so I'm excited that it happened for Golden Gun too, because if it happened for Spectral or Tether, it would make it too OP, and for Arc Strider, especially with Arc Battery being in the game right now, it would make it extremely OP right now. I'm happy that it happened for Golden Gun. The next buff that they're doing is Practice Makes Perfect. It lasts longer but gives a bit less energy per second. Precision grants 2 stacks. And you can see here that the Practice Makes Perfect perk is it enter a trance with each precision hit, reducing the cooldown of your super. Knife Juggler kills grant super energy. And so now they have it that it lasts longer, but it gives a little bit less energy. And precision hits grant 2 stacks, so there's a little buff to that. This next buff looks absolutely insane. The new Knock 'em Down precision final blows increase weapon stability and ADS speed. So you get these precision final blows, and then you just turn into a monster. You got a ton of stability and faster ADS speed. You got snapshot and crazy stability on your weapons. And this is the craziest part, that casting your super when you have this buff above 20 seconds consumes the buff and grants extra damage to your Golden Gun. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't stack with Celestial Nighthawk, but this is a kind of a cool perk that if you were to pop your super, you would get a sort of buffed Golden Gun shot. And we'll see how this affects anything in the game. We'll see if that's able to devastate maybe some Titan bubbles or something, but it's a cool little balance on the 2 perks, and I'm happy to see that this perk get a nice buff. This is a really strong perk. Getting a precision kill and then having just crazy stability for your pulse rifle, your scout, your hand cannon, whatever it is you're using is really nice. And snapshot just being added onto the weapon essentially makes you an absolute monster in the Crucible. And the last buff to Golden Gun is line 'em up. The old perks from Crowd Pleaser are now part of this perk. Golden Gun can cause precision damage, and precision shots generate orbs of light. And so this enables precision damage, and if you get a precision hit, it generates an orb of light. And so now we're on to the next one. This is the Sunbreaker, Code of the Devastator Middle Path. This is also called Burning Maul, or Burning Meme as it's more popularly known. And it has been a meme up until now. Now it's going to be insane. Once this update comes up, this is going to be nuts. They're buffing the Roaring Flame perk, so the buff lasts longer now. And so when you throw your hammer, it's going to proc that buff, and it's going to last longer. And on top of that, the hammer throwing damage is buffed from 100 to 120. And the stack, you get 25% damage increase per stack. And so this is going to make these hammers extremely lethal. And the radius to pick them up has been increased as well. This is going to be crazy. And your Burning Maul actually lasts longer now. And so you can be in your super a lot longer, which is kind of the key for this. Hammer has been kind of historically known as being an extremely strong super and not the best mid game. And that's the way it was in Destiny 1 as well. Your super was insane. I know you guys remember me doing Sun Charge in Destiny 1 in 1v3s and trials, but the Sun Charge was insane. The super was insane, but the mid game was always pretty weak. It usually had like 1 or 2 strong abilities, but it wasn't really known for its mid game. And that's kind of what they're staying true with here, is that they're really buffing the super. They're giving a little buff to the mid game, making the throwing hammer a little bit stronger, which I like, but mostly it's just making the super just absolutely devastating. They are increasing the duration from 21.2 seconds to 28.5, and the light attack doesn't cost as much energy now, so you can just spin around like a crazy top for as much as you want. Like you can go across the map, it says, so that way the animation flows seamlessly and chained attacks without stopping. So that's going to be crazy to see. It's going to be crazy to go into a Crucible match and watch a Titan pop his hammer and just spin around for seemingly looks like 28.5 seconds around the map. I don't know how that's all going to play out, what that's going to look like, but that sounds like it's going to be nuts. They're buffing the heavy attack as well, buffing the detonation. And so this is going to be a really, really crazy buff. And this super is going to be devastating, as it should be. The way it was in Destiny 1 was that if someone popped their super and I was a hammer, I was like, you are getting shut down for sure. And that was because I had Sun Charge, and Sun Charge isn't in the game, and I'm still sad about it. Please bring back Sun Charge. But this is Burning Maul, and this is definitely not going to have Sun Charge. But the other classes could. So at least that they stay true to the fact that this super is for sure going to shut down all the other supers in the game. It's so strong, it's so powerful. The heavy attack is nasty, the tracking is amazing already, and with these buffs coming to it, this is going to be absolutely a contender inside the Crucible. So on to the third and final update of this huge solar update that Bungie is doing. Dawnblade, Attunement of the Sky top path, has been desperately in need of an update. Bottom tree Dawnblade is absolutely devastating, so fast, so insane, so strong. And top tree Dawnblade is kind of just like a floater that just gets shot out of the sky. It doesn't really do much for you. And Well of Radiance, obviously, we know Well is strong in PvE and not so much in PvP. It definitely doesn't need to be buffed too much, but definitely top tree is in desperate need for a buff and for some serious changes. And so they do so. And the first thing they mentioned is that they're actually reworking and reducing the speed at which Burst Glide accelerates players in Daybreak. We'll see how this plays out and see what this does to the difference of speed and movement, because they do counter that by adding speed to the Icarus dashes. And Cosmo just recently tweeted out, retweeted, saying, one more thing, Icarus dash can now be activated twice before cooldown. And so he added that you have 2 Icarus dashes now that you can use twice before cooldown, and it will increase your speed. So it's sort of a push and pull there. They take away something and they gave another. We'll see how this ends up playing out overall for top tree. Sounds like top tree is going to be absolutely crazy though, because they have new Celestial Fire melee, which is it sends a spiral of 3 explosive solar projectiles. I don't even know what that's going to look like. I'm so confused. Like, this is going to be crazy. I want to see what the melee looks like. I can't wait to just hop in a game and see what it looks like, see how powerful it is, and see what it does. The next perk is Heat Rises. It's a rework consume your grenade to extend glide time and dramatically reduce the in-air accuracy penalties for weapons. That's really cool. I love that all of the Warlock trees have some sort of ability that's focused on their grenade, whether you're on Devour Warlock, whether you're using Arc Web for Stormcaller, and now obviously Solar as well they all have grenade related abilities. And I love that this, they're continuing with that, and that there's a variety of different grenade oriented abilities for your subclass. This Winged Sun perk is a rework, and it says fire weapons use celestial fire and throw grenade. While gliding, airborne final blows grant melee energy and extend the duration of Heat Rises. So that's cool. There's sort of synergy between this and Heat Rises in the new update. And the very last update that they have is an Icarus Dash rework. Tap crouch twice to dodge midair. Dodging in Daybreak accelerates players farther and costs less super energy, while under the effect of Heat Rises, Due to the nature of these reworks, Wings of Sacred Dawn received a buff where it gains 15% damage resistance while Tome of Dawn is active. That will be really cool to see. I don't even know. I actually have not used Top Tree Dawnblade in so long, and I have always thought that it's just like not really worth using, especially because bottom tree is so strong, that I need to go back into the Crucible now, and I need to put some time in this and get used to these abilities because this thing looks like it's going to be nuts. I cannot wait to try this out. I cannot wait to try out the other subclasses. Let me know what your thoughts are on this though. Which solar subclass are you most excited for? Me personally, it's going to be Golden Gun and Burning Maul will be second, and then third would be this top tree after I've put in a little time with it. Let me know which one you're going to be playing after the update, though. I cannot wait for all these crazy updates. This looks like it's going to be so much fun, and I just honestly am really excited to see how this plays out in the Crucible. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next video.